What's up, 8th grade? Mr. Agnos here. In this video, I'm going to go over two problems from homework 8-3K. Side note, that is my evil cat over there. The friendly one is somewhere else. All right, so this is question number 3 from your homework, 8-3K. And in years past, this question has confused some people just because of the way they set it up. What they're trying to do is walk you through the problem step by step. So the mistake that people have made in the past is they solve this equation, 3x plus 13 equals 34, and then they put the final answer in this box right here. And that's actually not what this question is asking you to do. They want you to go step by step. So the first thing I'm going to do is rewrite the equation. So it's a little bigger and easier to work with. I tried turning down the sensitivity of my mouse, and it's helping a little bit in terms of writing. Okay, so this is a two-step equation, and we know from previous videos that in two-step equations, we always want to undo the addition or subtraction first. And another way of thinking about it is we always want to get rid of the number that doesn't have the variable attached. So right here I have a 3x and a 13. So the 13 has no variable attached to it, and so we want to get rid of that, and we're going to use addition or subtraction to do that. Now, since I'm adding 13, the way I get rid of it is by subtracting 13. And whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So I'm going to subtract 13 from both sides. If I add 13 but then take away 13, that equals 0, right? Remember we talked about additive inverses, right? These are additive inverses. They sum to 0. So I'm left with just 3x, and on the right-hand side, 34 minus 13 is 21. All right, so if you look over at the problem, or their box right here, notice they have 3x equals, so they want you to put 21 in that box right here. In other words, we're putting in the middle step, what we call the intermediary step, the middle step. So I'm going to go ahead and put 21 in this box, not the final answer. Check answer. Got it. Now it's going to want us to solve the remainder of the equation. So it says apply the division property of equality. Notice it tells you what you need to do next. It says right there, division. Since we're multiplying our variable by 3, the way we undo that is by dividing by 3 on both sides. If I multiply by 3, but then I divide by 3, those cancel. I'm left with just x is equal to 21 divided by 3 is 7. So now I can go over to my final answer and put 7. All right, one mistake that a lot of students have made in the past is they will write x equals 7. All right, this tells me they know what they're doing, but Digits is going to mark this wrong. They already have the x equals here, so you never have to put that. You're just going to put the 7. Got it. Okay, so that's the first question we are going to do. The next question I wanted to look at was number 6. So here's number 6, and this one is worded poorly. So I wanted to go over it because it's not that bad. It's the way they wrote it is hard to understand. It says in 2000, so that's the year 2000, the number of federal hazardous waste sites in state X was 11 less than 4 times the number of sites in state Y. Suppose there were 65 such sites in state X. Write and solve an equation that represents the number of hazardous waste sites N there were in state Y. That is really difficult to understand. I mean, I had to read through that a couple of times because they're using state X, state Y. We got this N in there. So I had to read through this a couple of times. Really, there's one key. So the first thing they're asking us to do is write the equation that represents all this stuff they wrote here. It says which equation represents the number of hazardous waste sites N there were in state Y. They're asking us to take this whole paragraph up here, all of this stuff, and turn it into a mathematical equation. All right? Now, there's one key sentence in here, or part of a sentence, that actually spells out what the equation is. It says the number of federal hazardous waste sites in state X was 11 less than 4 times the number of sites in state Y. All right, that sentence right there is our equation. It's just written in English. So we have to take that and translate it into math. All right, 11 less means we're going to subtract 11, and 4 times the number of sites in state Y means we're going to multiply something by 4. Now, they want us to use the variable n right there for the number of hazardous waste sites in state Y, and then we have to multiply that by 4 and subtract 11. 11 less than 4 times the number of sites in state Y. So 4 times the number in state Y, which is our variable n here, would be 4n. And then we want 11 less than that. And it says there were 65 such sites in state X, which means that, hey, if I take the number of sites in state Y, multiply it by 4, subtract 11, then that's going to equal 65, which is the number of sites in state X. So you can see how the way they worded this is really confusing. But if we look at just this one sentence here, it's a lot easier. All right. So now I go look at my choices. I'm going to go look at my choices here. 11 minus 4n equals 65. No, 4n minus 11 equals 65. There it is. Right. 4 times the number of sites. We need 11 less than that. And all that together is going to equal 65, which is the number in state X. So B is going to be our choice. Here we're adding. This is if we said 11 more. And here this would be 11 times and then 4 less. Right? So one of the things you're going to have to do this year is really learn how to take something that's written in English and translate it into math. Math is a language. All right, check answer. We got it. All right. Now they want us to solve the equation. It says in state Y there were blank federal hazardous waste sites. So remember, N is the number of hazardous waste sites in state Y. Just saying that is confusing. So we just need to solve for this variable. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this subtraction, right? Here's my number without the variable. Since we're subtracting it, we're going to get rid of it by adding 11 to both sides. These are additive inverses, right? Negative 11 plus 11 is 0, so I can cancel those. I'm left with 4n is equal to 76. And then since I'm multiplying n by 4, the way I get rid of that is by dividing both sides by 4. Those are going to cancel, and I get n is equal to whatever 76 divided by 4 is. Let's see, 20 times 4 would be 80. So this is going to be 19 times 4 would be 76. So 76 divided by 4 is 19. So according to this problem, there are 19 hazardous waste sites in state Y. So now I'll go over, plug in 19, and we got it. Okay guys, I hope this video was helpful. If you have questions, ask me in class or hit me up in the comments.